Radio has been pretty damn busy today. Lots of arguing going on, recordings being played. Still kind of civilized compared to 80 meters at times, but we were just looking at that earlier. I really wish there was a way to output the display of the 7300. So with the 710, you can't adjust anything really in the colors of the waterfall or the spectrum like you can on the 7300. And I made my 7300 kind of look like the spectrum was on fire. And it looks very cool. But I cannot do that with this radio. Now the 7300, sure, you can tap the IF and hook an SDR Play up to it. But then again, the SDR Play software cannot even come close to mimicking the display of the 7300. So basically what you have is you have a completely different receiver running off the IF of your radio. You don't really have an output of the display. So I don't know how Yaesu does it, or what exactly is used to output the display. The resolution's actually kind of limited too. And it looks a lot better on the camera than it really is, but I mean, yes, you can run an SDR in the background and, you know, share your antenna connection one way or the other. And I probably should just do that instead, because although it's nice to be able to use this like that and not have anything else hooked up, if I was to set up a proper SDR, like running SDR Uno software on a Windows machine, you get some really damn good resolution on this thing. I mean, like, really good. And you don't get that with the 710. So I'm thinking maybe I have this computer over here. It is hooked to that particular TV. Maybe I could remove the ham clock from that one there, put it over there, and run this computer over to here and let it run the SDR Play. Or maybe I could build a really small Windows computer and just let it do the SDR Play. The problem with SDR Play is that SDR Uno software is some of the best, but it can only be run on Windows now. They've removed the old files. The only way I would be able to do it is go to the Wayback Machine and download the old files and try and get it running on Linux. And it did work in the past. They've completely removed and deleted any of the old files. So depending on if it can be found by the Wayback Machine or if somebody on the channel has it and they can send it to me, whatever, there's no easy way to run this on a Linux machine. There's no way to run it on a Raspberry Pi. You're not going to be able to run SDR Uno. You'll be able to run SDR Connect, which in my opinion is not nearly as good, and it doesn't look as good, and it doesn't feel as good. So but I would love to have SDR Uno running in the background. And I only have a couple radios that would actually provide the output to safely run the SDR Play at the same time. I do not trust any kind of switch that mutes the TX while you're using the SDR Play. There's not enough attenuation, and you could blow up the SDR Play. So unless you want to go, and there's no more $20 dongles that work anymore, they're like $40. But unless you want to go do that, then you have to risk ruining $130, $120, $100, SDR Play. There really hasn't been any reputable competition that's in the price range that the SDR Play is. There just aren't a lot of SDR receivers that are that well produced that are in that price range. There's other ones that are probably better, but they cost double. The Hack RF and the all that stuff is probably pretty good. But the RTL SDR dongles, they have issues, and I own one of the really old ones that has the plastic case around it, and you need a down converter or up converter or whatever. I think it goes from about 20 megahertz to whatever it goes up to. So anyway, it would just be nice to have something else. I don't really prefer the 710 over other radios, but I like it. But it just has its pluses and minuses. But I'd like to have the other one being another receiver, so you can kind of like look at two things at once, So I'm not really sure if there's an easy way to do that, but it'd be fun to do it.